there. Thanks for popping in. I'm your host, Suzanne Klein, an educator turned entrepreneur with a 7-figure company selling it and now teaching you how to do it too. I'm super excited to share with you my next guest. I was so excited when I stumbled upon her website and I saw that she is a seasoned career transition coach, helping teachers transition to a different career to get a job. And I actually think I said out loud, she's the jelly to my peanut butter. I know this is luckily ridiculous, but luckily I was here in my home office and not in one of the many hotels that I work out of here in the Caymans. I know, totally random. But here's the deal. When I started coaching teachers who wanted to leave teaching, I didn't just get the teachers who wanted to create an online business. I was getting teachers, and still do, I'm getting teachers who want to actually have another job and another career. And honestly, last time I had a resume, or a boss even for that matter, was about 2 decades ago. So let's just say that helping folks with resumes, cover letters, creating LinkedIn profiles, that's not my zone of genius. Are you following me? So it makes sense, hopefully, now that I say that my next guest is my jelly to my peanut butter. Okay, I want to get right into sharing her jelly delicious message with you. I know, totally corny, I couldn't help myself. So a big welcome to Dr. Kitty Boitnott. Oh, I said that wrong. Kitty, can you help us, please?
Yeah, Kitty Boitnott.
Boitnott, thank you. So can you just share with our viewers, it's so great to have you here, just share with our viewers why you wanted to be a part of the Freedom for Educators and your message that the takeaway that you want to impart with us.
Sure. And thank you for inviting me to be with you today, Suzanne. I really do appreciate it. The reason that I want to share my message today is that for those teachers who are unhappy at work and thinking that there must be something else out there that they could be doing instead of what they're doing right now, but they're too afraid to start their own business, or they don't have the capital to start their own business, or it's never even occurred to them to start their own business, but they are interested in finding another job, or perhaps even switching career lanes altogether and finding some other kind of work to do. And as a former educator myself, who's had experience working with an online career coach, trained with her, worked with her for 14 months, I learned how to take the skills that teachers have developed and package them along with their natural talents, gifts, and unique experience as far as work and education, and create a marketable resume for them so that once they've decided where they want to go job-wise or career-wise, I can help them create the tools, the resume, the cover letter, the LinkedIn, and the interview skills that they need to make that transition possible.
Sure, sure. Well, I'm so excited that you're here because there's so many teachers that want to jump into another career, maybe not start a business like you said, but jump into a different career, and they don't know that you're out there. So this is a great education for them. So let's go back to you here for a minute. You have a lot of years in education, a lot, not only receiving an education, but imparting it as well. You were a 6th grade ELA teacher, English teacher, and also a elementary library media specialist for 33 years. Whoa. And if that wasn't enough, you served 4 years as president of the Virginia Education Association. So my question is this to you. When we talked a couple weeks ago before this interview, you spoke about how during your second term, when it was over, after you were president of the association, you were assigned a middle school ELA position. And this caused some serious dilemma for you, to say the least. Can you tell educators the dilemma that you were having and what that was like for you?
I sure can. So the dilemma was that about the springtime of the last year of my term as president of the BEA, I became aware of being totally empty as far as any kind of energy, enthusiasm, excitement. I was just pushing myself day to day to get through each activity for the day. And I had begun to worry, where would I find the patience and the resilience and the energy that I needed to work with children again? I had taken a risk that I would be able to return to a library somewhere, because that's what I spent most of my career doing. I was an elementary school librarian for 30 of those 33 years. And I lost the gamble. I took the risk and it didn't pay off. When the county called me to offer my assignment for the next year, there were no library openings, and my assignment was to teach middle school English. Yeah. Now, I had taught middle school English, sixth graders, back in the 70s when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I knew I did not have the energy, the stamina, the resilience, or the patience that I would need to work with middle schoolers. And I also knew that 2012 middle schoolers were a different type of students from the ones I had in 1980.
Yeah.
So I also had the dilemma of not believing in the standards regimen or the testing that we put students through. Right. I believe the system is breaking down with lack of real care and political will to support it the way it needs to be supported. Yeah. And I just felt disillusioned with the entire system.
Absolutely.
And eventually I decided I could not go back.
Right. Well, and that is very honorable of you to realize that and not just do what you knew didn't feel right. So, kudos to you. And I think that's your story that you shared is inspirational for others out there that are currently feeling what you were feeling back then. And so I think that hopefully your story can inspire others to not pursue something that doesn't feel right. Because as we know, we only have so much time in this life, and we spend over half of our life in our job, so our business. So why not do something that you love? So I might as well throw in that in addition to a ton of years in education, you also got your PhD in education leadership, 2 master's degrees, and are a licensed science of mind practitioner and minister. Now, I'm no stranger to long hours and a lot of hard work growing businesses, the 4 different companies I did, but just saying all of this makes me tired. That's a lot. When we talked, you mentioned that after deciding to get another job, you said that you were overqualified. Let's see if I get this right. Overeducated and underqualified. Can you explain what you meant by this? And do you work with teachers who have the same kind of dilemma when they're looking for a traditional job?
Yeah, well, to speak to the overeducated and underqualified, as I mentioned, I have, and you suggested I have a PhD, 2 master's degrees. My mother said when I started my PhD that I must love school, and I do. But on paper, I'm wildly overqualified for any type of job that I would have been satisfied to take after I retired from teaching, and underqualified in the kind of work that I had done. I'd only ever been an English teacher and an elementary school librarian. I couldn't even get a job in the public library system here because I didn't have public library experience. And I have an endorsement in library science, but not a master's in library science. So that's why I say I was overeducated and underqualified. And yes, I do work with other teachers who come to me with all sorts of degrees, and they're like me. They've loved teaching for a while until they don't, and then they loved school. And for many teachers, the path to better pay and to promotions is to continue to get an education
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly, when they've decided that they don't want to teach anymore, it's like, well, now what do I do? What do I do with all of this education? And unfortunately, a lot of younger teachers are coming to me with tons of student loan debt
Yeah.
because they've been working so hard getting a master's degree and an extra endorsement and an extra certificate here and there. And so it's possible to be overeducated and underqualified, but I believe it's all about packaging and being able to market what you have,
Yeah.
and direct it toward what you want to do next. And it is totally possible, and I think preferable, for us to all be working in work that we love and is in alignment with our talents, skills, unique abilities, and our education.
Mm.
Everybody could be happy in their work.
Yes.
Wouldn't the world be a better place?
Oh, absolutely. There's too many people walking around miserable because they can't stand what they are doing, and not, of course, not just teachers, worldwide. And that affects every part of their life, you know, their home life, how they respond to their children, etc. And so, yeah, that's no way to live for sure. So let's talk about transferable skills. I'm sure that you talk to your hopeful job hunting coaching clients about their transferable skills. What does having transferable skills mean to our educators who want a job and not a business, not become an entrepreneur?
The important thing is to do a series of assessments and determine what exactly are your strengths, because that's where we need to start as far as determining what skills to include on the resume. It's no point in putting skills on the resume that include things that you don't ever want to do again. So we go with, what is it that you enjoy about your current work? Where do you feel like you are really lit up and excited?
Yeah.
And what kinds of activities are you engaged in when you feel that way? For some teachers, it's things like organizational skills.
Mm.
For others, it's creating lesson plans or curriculum that can be translated into other kinds of creation of other programs. I have a teacher who worked with me for a while who's somewhat of an inventor, and she's created things that she uses in her classroom that she's attempting to get patents on.
Nice.
So that she can sell them to other people. Now, she's not looking to start a business, but she is looking to help other teachers with that particular.
Well, hold on a minute though. If she's looking to invent things, that totally is a business.
I know, and I didn't know you when I worked with her.
Yeah, right.
When I think about her, I do need to let her know about it.
Yes, please do. I can help her. I looked into, actually, I was looking at creating a hair accessory, totally off topic here, but I was looking into the whole patent process, and there's a lot to it, but it's all very manageable. So I have a bit of experience in that, and so yeah, I'd love to help her. But anyway, yeah, I do. I think that, would you agree with this statement that teachers don't realize, educators don't realize how many transferable skills they actually have from being a teacher? And would you agree with that, first of all?
I absolutely agree with that. And in fact, part of the reason I started this business was that so many of the teachers that I worked with as president of the VEA, and even before that, when I was in my couple of schools before VEA work, too many teachers will say, well, I'm just a teacher. I don't know what else I could do. I'm just a teacher.
Yeah.
Teachers are not just anything.
Right.
They are creators. They are planners. They're project managers. They are able to multitask and handle multiple activities, not to mention dealing with personalities and having personal skills that most CEOs wouldn't be able to develop.
Yeah, it's true.
Part of my mission is to help teachers understand exactly how many skills they have developed over the course of their teaching career. And then, of course, how to translate that into the world of work outside of education.
Absolutely. No, we stand for the same thing, helping educators to realize their maximum potential so that they can truly let their light shine. Well, I only have time for a few more questions, but before I do, I want to share with our educators out there that Kitty has this amazingly comprehensive ebook. I think it's a crazy number of pages, freebie that you're not going to want to miss. And we'll talk about that at the end, so stay tuned. So my next question is about kind of all the informal data gathering that you've done from working with all of your coaching clients. What would you say are some of the main reasons why teachers seek out transitioning help and why they want to leave teaching?
Most of them come to me because I'm also a stress management coach. And so I offer stress management strategies, and I have an ebook on the 7 strategies for managing and relieving your stress, in addition to the book we're giving away today. They'll call me because they're stressed, and the job is the main source of their stress. Some of them are already sick. Many of them are on the brink of being sick. Some are suffering from anxiety and depression already because they feel so stuck and they don't really believe there's anything else out there for them. Yeah. That they've run across me and decided, what the heck, 20 minutes of a discovery session, maybe I can help them in some fashion or form. Many of them will tell me, I still love my kids, but it's all the other stuff I don't want to have to do anymore. Yeah. All the paperwork. That paperwork has gotten to be crazy.
Absolutely.
Unsupportive parents, many disruptive children, and overcrowded classrooms. I mean, that's another crazy thing. Yeah. Somehow that people have bought into this idea that class size doesn't matter. Well, I've got news for them. It does matter. And when you cram 34 students into a Spanish class, it's an impossible job for that teacher to teach Spanish to 34, especially if 6 of them have IEPs. Right. And 3 of them have behavior issues. Yeah. And none of the parents want to believe that their kid's going to be disruptive in the classroom. Right. And even if you send them to the office, 5 minutes later, the principal sends them straight back in the classroom. So there are no repercussions, no support. And it wears on a teacher after a while to the point where they just can't do it anymore. And they call me sometimes in desperation. Yeah. They don't really know what else they could do, but they know they can't continue to do this and keep their sanity or maintain their health. And I'm here to help them.
Absolutely. No, I do. I remember when I totally agree with you. I remember when we met a couple weeks ago and you shared this text message that you got, and it was like, oh, it hit me like a ton of bricks, because it was, from a teacher that was waiting in her car to the last minute before she went into school because she just didn't think she could face another day.
She didn't want to walk into that building. That's how I'm waiting in my car in the parking lot, waiting until the last possible second.
Yes, and that is the kids can feel it. The children can totally sense when somebody is happy or not happy, and there's no judgment here. I know that that's not what we're saying. It's just that what we advocate, both Kitty and I, is that if you need help, seek it. So absolutely, we all have to be our best care advocates for sure. And do what's best for us. So I want to come back, speaking of us, Kitty, I want to come back to the peanut butter and jelly. I love the synergy that arises when 2 people with different but complementary skills work together. And it's really when I think the magic happens and the heavens sing. Basically, when we work together to accomplish more than we could alone, that's the synergy. And for example, you were sharing with me a potential coaching client that came to you and she explained that she was wanting to start an online travel boutique for travelers, online boutique for travelers. But since you are experienced in career transitioning into traditional jobs, you shared her contact details with me, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you. And vice versa. When I have a teacher that comes to me wanting to create a resume and sharpen up her interview skills and all of what it takes to get out there again, I will be sending them to you as well. That's what I mean by synergy. The end goal, obviously, is that we both want to help as many educators create a life that they love and work in their purpose. So this leads me to my second to last question, and it's around coaching. Regardless of the fact that you're a career transition coach and I'm a business coach, do you think teachers even think about hiring a coach? Is that even in their realm of experience? I mean, I know we all know athletes have coaches, but do educators know that hiring a coach can help them create the life that they want and really propel them to the next level and save them a lot of time and money?
I don't think that's their default position, frankly, and it wasn't for me. I started out on my job search back in the winter of 2012, 2013, thinking I can do this on my own. I have a PhD in educational leadership, and how hard could it be? And I quickly discovered that I hadn't written a resume for years, and I'd spent $395 for a professionally written resume that I've never used because it's totally useless to me. But I hired a career coach after several weeks of struggling myself. Mm-hmm. And it was with her help that I realized that what I was looking for were some of the things that you offer in your program: the flexibility of time, the flexibility of location, the flexibility of scheduling. I wanted to be my own boss and be in charge of my own schedule. And most importantly for me, I was looking for the flexibility of purpose. I knew that I had a deeper purpose that I needed to be living out. It wasn't an accident, I didn't think, that I was finishing up my ministerial studies as a science of mind practitioner and minister. And I wanted to be able to use that spiritual practice as part of coaching and sharing with teachers that they should be living in alignment with their skills and abilities, and not always feeling like they're pushing themselves upstream against the current. So I hired a coach, and I immediately saw the benefit. Within a week, I felt, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this before? And I think younger people do tend to think of coaches sooner than maybe my generation or even a few years younger than me, because we were taught to figure it out on your own.
Good point.
But it is true that I get a lot of teachers who've been applying here and there and everywhere, and they don't hear back, and they don't know why they're not getting invited for interviews. Or worse, they get invited for an interview and then they don't get offered the job. They don't realize what they're doing wrong, and why would they? You know, they're not experts in resume writing or cover letter writing or LinkedIn or anything else that's related to looking for a job outside of education. And for most of them, the last job they applied for was in education. This is a totally different ballpark. So I help them save that time and money by teaching them the skills that they need and offering them the tools that they need, showing them how to use those tools to the best benefit that they can, so that when they do get that interview, they're ready, they're confident, they're poised, they're ready to answer even the most unexpected question in a way that they can feel good about and hopefully land that job.
I love that. Such a great answer, by the way, but I love that you integrate your ministry work and your spiritual practice and your knowledge into what you do, because that's so needed. We're really a whole integral piece. We're not just, a compartmentalized person of this, it all kind of works together. So thank you for sharing that. And before you share your freebie gift with our viewers out there, I do have one last question that I do ask all of my guests. What advice would you give an educator who knows that they want to leave their current position, either because they're burnt out or they want to do more, be more, and they either want to get a different job or they want to start a business? What do you say to those that are scared to leave? You know, there's the job security, what we think is job security, but not always. There's the paycheck, the pension, the healthcare. It's hard. I get it. You get it. We both kind of jumped and took the leap of faith that it'll all work out. So what do you offer to those educators who are really rooted in fear?
I remind them that at the end of the day, life is simply too short to live working in a job that you don't love anymore. Mm-hmm. I learned that when I was 34 and my dad died in an accident when he was 63. He was literally here one day and gone the next, and he had just retired and was full of plans for things he wanted to do, trips he wanted to take, things he wanted to do with my mom when she retired, but she was a lot younger than he, and so he was waiting.
Yeah.
When he died, he didn't get to do any of those things. It was an immediate, profound lesson for me, and that's part of the reason I have to admit that when I had to choose between going back into a line of work that I no longer believed that I could believe in, mm-hmm. or taking this leap of faith, that my only option was to take the leap of faith, because I was 59 and a half when I retired. I was 60 when I started my business. And I remember thinking, what if I only had 3 more years? What if I knew I had 3 more years? Would I want to be trudging away trying to teach middle school English? Or do I want to be living my true purpose, helping other people figure out what their true purpose is?
Yes, I love that message. And we just posted on social media a bit ago this beautiful saying that goes along with what you're saying. It says, is what you're doing today setting you up to create the future that you want tomorrow? And that's exactly what you are saying here. And so whether it be seeking a business or seeking a traditional job. All right. Yes, did you want to say something else?
I was just going to say that I understand the fear. Everybody experiences the fear. Sure. But at the end of the day, there's no amount of money as far as a paycheck or a pension that can make up for your having major I mean, our health is everything. And when we're so stressed that we make ourselves sick, and there are studies that demonstrate that people are becoming ill with all sorts of ailments that are completely stress related. If we could avoid getting sick by working in places that make us happy,
yes,
it takes the fear away, it seems like to me.
Absolutely. That's so true. I love that you mentioned that. And fear is not a bad thing. It's what keeps us from putting our hand on the oven. You know, we need fear, but when we live in it and we let it drive our life, that's when it becomes a problem. So let's get on to your freebie gift. Can you share with our viewers out there what you are offering to them today?
A few years ago, I wrote up a book that was based on a presentation I had done for some job seekers, including mid-career professionals as well as teachers. And the title of it says it all, 10 things you need to think about if you are ready for a job or career change. So it's a comprehensive guide for anyone who's thinking, maybe they're on the fence, they're not sure they're ready to make a change. But a lot of people, as they approach retirement, are wondering what to do in their next career, because even if you're 65, life's not over.
That's true. Good point.
You can start your own business then.
Yeah, that's right.
Or just start a consulting firm. Do whatever you feel called to do.
Sure.
These 10 considerations will help you put yourself in the right mindset for the change that you're getting ready to make.
Well, Kitty, you are truly an inspiration. I mean, you started your business at 60. So, you know, if you can do it, anyone can do it. And yes, it's been a true gift to have you on my 5 Freedoms Life. And I want to thank you. You are just such an inspiration. I love the PB&J sandwich that we now have created. That's amazing. And thank you for all of your wisdom. So I want to share with our viewers out there, until next time, you can do this, and stay savvy, my friends.